So hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today we're talking about this bike, daylight saving time, you know, the right to repair and other such things. So if you have not been keeping up, what you've missed on this is we have fully rebuilt the carbs. I've balanced them, which is actually not on the channel yet, and we've also rebuilt the brake master cylinder, which is not on the channel and won't be because I didn't record it. And we've also rebuilt the brake caliper. Again, did not record that because if you want to see a video that's exactly the same, look up the Honda Valkyrie brake master cylinder rebuild and the Honda Valkyrie brake rebuild. They're basically the same brakes setup. The Valkyrie just has two calipers, so it has a slightly bigger master cylinder, but very, very, very similar. We've just done about 30 miles testing, because I just kind of got it all fully back together last night, balanced and everything else, and it feels great. So the next thing up due on this is going to be the oil, but I love how this bike looks. I've always loved how this bike looks, and you know, it's never not impressed me. It's such a pretty bike. I think it looks like muscular or something. I've always thought that it looks so good. But yeah, anyway, let's get back on the road towards Clayton, and we'll talk on the way there. Oh, also a little update. I've had this Ultimate Add-ons case for like 4 years, and one of my clasps has broken, sadly. That is literally the only thing that has ever went wrong with any of my Ultimate Add-ons things, so still highly recommend them. But I'm probably going to have to get a new case. Sad times. It just snapped literally one day over when I was starting it, so not a big deal, but definitely something I need to fix. Bump. But yeah, why I wanted to make this video is just while I was working on this bike, you know, I've done a lot of work on the SV recently, the SV650. If you haven't seen that on the channel, a lot of that fixing is actually up there. Take a look if you want. Oops. Nearly fell over thanks to my bad right hip. But yeah, I've been doing a hell of a lot of work on the SV650, and you know, I've kind of had to do a little bit of work to this recently as well. Nothing major, but you know, just obviously brought to mind making a video and talking about it, because something that I'm worried we're losing is the right to repair. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically saying that, you know, anything that you buy, you should be able to fix for X amount of years. And by and large, that is still, you know, covered most of the time. Obviously, I remember John Deere had a big thing about that, where, you know, they didn't want anyone touching their newer tractors. So you had to go to the dealership and all this, like no third parties, nothing like that. And I absolutely hate that as a concept, because obviously I like being able to fix my own stuff, my own cars, my own bikes. A large part of the reason that I bought you know, the Subaru Forester that I have, it's number one, it's a manual Forester, and to work on, you know, a manual Forester, it's genuinely incredibly easy. Not much goes wrong with them, you know, and the basic stuff like changing oil and all that is very, very easy to get to. They don't make it difficult at all, which is very similar on this. You know, this was the bike that has been easiest to pull carbs on that I've ever worked on. And you know, I've worked on obviously my Magna, which is a V4, and it's a known pain in the butt to get carbs out of those. But you know, I've worked on that. I've worked on Kawasaki's his GTR 1000. Those carbs are a bit of a pain in the ass to get out of there, but I think that was more, you know, it being an Irish bike, the carbs were just a little bit more or the rubbers were a little bit more kind of stiff than what this bike was. And you know, the SV650, easy to work on, and I think if you go back to the 80s, the 90s, and even the early 2000s, things were just a lot easier to fix. And I think that was before, you know, obviously corporations are about year-on-year growth, which I think is dumb, because I don't think it's possible to do year-on-year growth forever. You know, at some point you're going to plateau to a degree, no matter how good your product is. And realistically, I would rather see people have quiet years, you know, plan for the quiet years, because if you build a really good product, then your customers shouldn't be coming back to you next year to buy another one. You know what I mean? It's just, that whole concept is dumb. This bike, for instance, 27 years old. The carbs had never been touched when I got to them. They were original. The brake caliper had never been touched when I got to it. It was original, same as the brake master cylinder, same as the wheel bearings when I changed them, which arguably didn't even need doing on the front. The rear did need doing. Chain and sprockets, again, arguably, well, they had been changed. Like, someone had messed with them because the gearing was changed from what it once was. Oh, I love how carbs feel. Just the way carbs accelerate is so nice. Always has been. Carbs. I don't think ignition, like injection, will be ever able to replicate what carbs feel like. Yeah. So yeah, what we've done, we also balance these, and the thing that I love about this bike and bikes of this era is you don't have any crazy complicated technology. And look, I'm not arguing that ABS isn't a great technology. ABS is a great technology. I'm sure ABS has saved many lives over the years, and I'm not being facetious. I genuinely think ABS has saved lives over the years. However, you know, I think also, by and large, you can get by without it. I have never accidentally activated ABS on any of my bikes. Whenever I've done it, it's been to test it, to see how it feels, how hard you have to pull the brakes for it to come on. And you know, I would rather not have it and have a bike that I can maintain forever, than have it and have something that, you know, even more modern stuff, to be able to bleed the ABS pump, you need something to hook up to the bike to tell it, hey, you need to activate and bleed. All of these things are, you know, not insurmountable, but they add to the complication of maintaining a vehicle. And they add to the complication of the right to repair. And like I said, I want to buy something, and then I never want to have to take it to somewhere again. You know what I mean? I think the first time in literally years I'm going to have to take something to a garage or a dealership is Toaster's car. Because the oil pan, like, you just need too much stuff. You have to take off the engine mounts and lower engine mounts, and I just don't have the space to do it, and I'm not buying all the extra stuff to do it once, because I'm never going to do it again on that car, you know. And you know, that's fine. I don't mind doing it every once in a while, but the bill for that is going to be like $500 labor, right? And you know, people I get asked all the time, you know, how can you afford to have so many bikes? Bikes are so expensive. It's because I fix them myself. I've said this before, I've mentioned it in videos. If I didn't fix my bikes myself, I would have one bike, and that is all. Like, I'm not trying to be a silly goose or anything. Is I would have one bike, and I would be doing well to afford maintaining that one bike, you know. Even if you take the V-Strom 1000 from doing the spark plugs already, valve clearances already, and the valve clearances did need adjusted, so that would have been even more expensive. There's just so many things that would have added up, chain and sprockets, stuff like that. And that bike has been, honestly, I barely had to touch it. It's just basic maintenance. But yeah, for sure, if I had one bike that I had to take it to a dealership for everything, I'd be screwed. I'd be screwed. There's no way. There's just no way I could, you know, afford more than one. Take the SV650. Like, all the work I've done to that, the labor on that would have been astounding. It would have been terrifying. And I'll do a video on that. I'll do a video on the parts and what it would have cost. You know, and I might even see, is there a dealership willing to, you know, quote me as a comparison. And you know, it's something that some people get mad at me because I'm always like, you know, respect your local mechanics. Don't be dicks about your local mechanics. Let's give it a little rip here. Little carby rebuilt carb rip. Second gear, wide open. Oh! Have to lean forward a lot. Ew! Oh yeah! Oh, this thing moves so much better now. Yeah, okay, these carbs probably needed doing a long time ago. That's on me. That is on me. The person, I don't know, I think they'd already moved when I had my indicator on. Now I wish I hadn't been turning, because I would have gotten out and slapped him in the face. But I was turning, so it's okay. Oh, this bike feels so much better now. It feels so much better. The brakes were gone kind of hitchy, and I think it was just age, because there was nothing actually bad, you know, with the brakes when I got in there. It was just I think the piston in the master cylinder wasn't working that well anymore. Hello. But yeah, this thing is great. But anyway, the right to repair, that is why, in my opinion, it's so important, is to allow people to have a hobby. Because, you know, whatever about being able to maintain one vehicle affordably, I think most garages are pretty good for that. You know, I think most, especially third-party garages, Freeman Motorcycles, for instance, they also have a car business, and you know, anyone I ever spoke to who actually brought their car there or their bike there after I made the videos, I had nothing but good things to say about them, which is good, because, you know, obviously I like when people reach out to me about that. I obviously, you know, you put your own name on the line, and the thing is, while I never used their services other than for tyres, because I didn't mount my own tyres at home, obviously speaking to all the mechanics who worked in Freeman's at the time, I know Sean is still there. I don't know who else is still there, but I know Sean is still there. Speaking to everyone who was there at the time, is, you know, their ethos around motorcycle maintenance was very similar to mine. You know, it's just, you know, the whole thing of like, it's not worth not changing a wheel bearing, for instance, if you're in there, because it's something that could kill you and it's cheap. And you know, that always made me feel good, because the thing is, you know, if they're going to be honest with you about, hey, you need this and you need this, and that's why it's so important also to have third party garages, not greedy huge dealerships. And I'm not saying all dealerships are bad, I would not say that, because I don't know all dealerships, but a lot of dealerships are bad. You know, a lot of dealerships are greedy, and I've had experiences with dealerships through friends. I've never used them myself, where they'd say, oh, XYZ is wrong, and then you look into it and they're like, well, it's actually only a $100 part, but we recommended this $4,500 worth of work because it could go bad in future. That's shady. Like, whatever, you know, give someone the heads up, hey, it could be, you know, you could be looking at this in the future, but don't quote them $4,500 to do a $100 fix. That's ridiculous. Some people would immediately trade in a car if they saw a bill like that. They'd be like, well, I'm better off just getting a new payment rather than, you know, paying that much money for a repair. Like, don't be ridiculous. And you know, I feel like a lot of modern vehicles get a bad rap too, because people say, oh, they don't last as long as they used to, because they're getting these type of quotes and they're just getting rid of the vehicle, whereas the vehicle realistically is fine. You know, like, again, back to my SV650, was absolutely fine. That thing would have been probably written off soon if I hadn't got my hands on it. I don't think many other people would have taken on everything that was wrong with it, and now I have a great track bike for relatively cheap. And I have a great track bike that I've done everything to, so I can trust it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. And that, it just, for me, like, if you want to have automotive things as a hobby, the right to repair is one of the most important things that you could be supporting. So whenever there are elections, and whenever there are, you know, local elections, whatever, and you care about this stuff, ask them about the right to repair, and ask them about, you know, are they supporting that stuff, because they should be. In my opinion, they should be. Oh, I could have went down that. I like that road back there, Ranch Road. I might turn around. Yeah, let's turn around. I prefer Ranch Road. I think this road's gonna be the straight, boring one. I don't want to do that one. So we're gonna turn right here. We're gonna indicate the other way. Look, and we're good. I'm still waiting for the app. You know, that I mean, I'm not going to develop it, I'm not smart enough, but the app that picks the best, most scenic roads. Not even the windiest ones, just the ones with the least traffic. Just the ones that have the most cows to look at and whatever else. Oh, that's a nice shop. I would not mind that myself. But anyway, yeah, right to repair. Also, daylight saving times, it's dumb, can we stop doing it? Like, for instance, today it's going to be dark at 5 PM. Just so we can get an hour of extra light in the morning. Like, who cares about the morning? You're going to work, you're going to school, it's miserable anyway. you want more light in the evening for when you might be finished work, or you can get out for a run or a walk. Like, I have never understood daylight savings time. As far as I remember, Europe voted on getting rid of it, and it's still yet it still persists. And I don't know why. And I hate it, and it's stupid. Let me know what you think of daylight savings times. And yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to talk about, you know, this bike and that it's back running beautifully. Hopefully we can get Toaster out. If not, I will probably sub this in for some videos sometimes. Vlogging videos are going to be harder now, obviously, because it's getting dark. So if I'm riding home, I probably won't vlog just because it's too dark. And obviously I ride a lot of 70-80 mile an hour highway, so it doesn't sound the best, and I just don't bother making a video on it. So weekends and garage videos. Yeah, but yeah, let me know what you feel about being able to repair all your own stuff. Is it as important to you as it is to me? Oh, there's a little amber light. I'm telling you, these front brakes are so good now. I mean, they weren't terrible, they still worked, but there was like, now they feel great, they feel so good. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do you want to be able to fix your own stuff? And I know obviously a lot of people don't want to fix their own stuff, and that's absolutely fine too. But that's also why it's so important as for, you know, third-party garages, that not everything is through a dealership, because I would wonder how many people use third-party garages. The only garage I would actually currently trust with any of my stuff is Freeman Motorcycles in Clonmel, which obviously means that I'm not going to a garage over here. Just because, you know, I have, when we first moved here, I tried trusting a garage for like an older vehicle we bought, check it over. I didn't have any tools yet, I didn't have a garage yet, I just wanted to make sure the thing was safe. And they did their check, and I paid them way too much money, as it turns out. And then when I actually got a garage and tools, I found out that my, you know, rear axle U-bolts were about rusted through. When I changed the air filter, yeah, they'd put in a new air filter, but they'd never cleaned out the air filter box, so it was full of shit. Like, that was literally the final straw for me. And I was like, you know what, I've tried to trust too many times in my life, been burned every time. I'm good. I'm gonna just do this stuff myself. As much as I would rather not do car stuff myself, I don't really enjoy working on cars. Obviously it depends on the car, but in general, a car for me is these days, unfortunately, an A to B machine. I think the world, for me, has ruined cars. I think all the ones I ever would have wanted to own, they're gone, which is sad, but it is what it is. It's you know, they're gone, and you know, that's life. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, boring cars, A to B machines, I have no interest in them. I don't want to work on them. I have no interest in them. If I bought an older truck at any point, I'd need a little bit more land than I currently have. I would love that. I'd love to work on that. But you know, time will tell. Will that ever happen? Time will tell. I'm not overly worried about it, I'll put it that way. Before we go to Clint, I'm actually going to grab fuel, because I have no idea how much is in this thing. I should probably stop and check, actually. I'll stop at I've stopped up here before, you might remember, at this church up here. I'll stop in there and check what our fuel situation is like, because I'm only about 10 miles from home, so if we have plenty of fuel. I don't know that I reset this clock when I last filled up, because this bike takes any fuel, so if I have it in a jerry can, it goes in there generally. No, go slower, it's fine. My god. Now, let's just have a quick little looky-see. See how we are for fuel. Oh. Okay, we're pretty low. Let's go get some fuel. Anyway, probably call it there then. What a great wee bike. I do need to tighten up my right mirror. You probably can see that. You know, the day that Toaster moves on from this bike and I can throw springs into it to suit me and whatnot, I'm kind of excited about it, because I know I don't fit on it. It's quite a tight bike, you know, lengthwise, which doesn't help my fitability, we'll call it. But still, I'd really like to test it and see how it feels, because I do like this bike quite a bit. Now, I hate this place, because every time I've ever come in here, people have kind of attempted to kill me. Probably not the best time to try tighten my mirror. Anywho. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the video. Let me know what you think about the right to repair, about fixing vehicles. Do you prefer older vehicles for their ease of repair? Do you prefer newer vehicles because of all the technology that they have and you're not really worried about the extra cost involved in maintaining them? Let me know. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. I'm getting some fuel now and going home. Adios. Outro crew. How are you all? You know, I feel like maybe I don't ask that enough. So how are you all? You all good? I don't think I've asked that for a while. Let me know. I hope you're all good. That's it. That's all. That's the only question I have for you today. Bye, outro crew. No, it was pretty empty. That's good. I filled it up then.